أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. We start off by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending our peace and blessings upon our Master Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us beneficial knowledge and understanding and wisdom. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with acceptance this month of Ramadan, to make us of those who have our fasting accepted, and our salah accepted, and our taraweeh accepted, and our recitation of the Quran accepted, and our dua accepted, and all our pious actions in this blessed month accepted, because acceptance is the most important thing. The action without acceptance goes haba'an manthura. The action that's not accepted goes to waste. The action that is accepted is the one that lasts forever, and you'll find it on your scale on the day of judgment. And we all are in need of this. So the key to acceptance is sincerity in the heart. The key to acceptance is sincerity in the heart. Today is the 24th day of March. 24th day of March, also coinciding with the 24th day of Ramadan. But we're in the night now, because after Maghrib is the night. So we're in the 25th night of Ramadan, and tomorrow is the 25th day, and the day after tomorrow is the 26th, and then the 27th. And on the 27th we have a usual every what happened? You good? Don't sit there. That's the pathway. Sit somewhere better. You could sit on the chair. You could sit on the wall. You could sit on the wall back there. You could, yeah. You can enjoy it. You could share with the brother. Can you give me one of those, the spring waters? Here. I like them. Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Whoever donated the spring water, thank you so much. We like spring water. So on the 27th night, we always have a event in the Masjid, an all-night event. And that all goes back to the opinion that the 27th night could very well be Laylatul Qadr. That's the opinion of Abdullah ibn Abbas. Many companions had that opinion. But as we've mentioned many times before, that Laylatul Qadr is ambiguous and it's in the last 10 nights. We started off by talking about the first point, which is sincerity. Sincerity grants you acceptance. And if you have an accepted Laylatul Qadr, you have Jannah. So to make it simple, to make things easy, accepted Laylatul Qadr equals forgiveness of sins in Jannah. من قام ليلة القدر إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Whomsoever stood at night in the night of power, he did so imanan wa ihtisaban, with true faith in Allah, sincerity, and also anticipating his reward with Allah. He has been forgiven for his sins, and he entered Jannah. Forgiveness of sins is Jannah, because if you have no sins, you go to Jannah, and we all want that. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam كان يجاور في العشر الأواخر من رمضان ويقول تحروا ليلة القدر في العشر الأواخر من رمضان. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to exert himself more in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. And he also used to do the act of i'tikaf, which is seclusion in the masjid to get closer to God. The act of i'tikaf is called, or its definition is seclusion in the masjid with the intention to get closer to God and to disconnect from everything else. So the individual that does i'tikaf, it's a very blessed act, and for every second he's in the masjid, he gets reward. He should busy himself with Quran and salah and dua and dhikr, or listening to a good talk, or reading a book of knowledge. So the Prophet ﷺ used to do i'tikaf in the last 10 nights, and he used to exert himself in the last 10 nights. وَكَانَ يَقُولُ تَحَرُّوا لَيْلَةَ الْقَدْرِ فِي الْعَشْرِ الْأَوَاخِرِ. And he used to say, look for Laylatul Qadr in the last 10 nights. How do you look for a timing? What does he mean by taharru? He means that exert yourself, because inshallah, if it's Laylatul Qadr, you will get it accepted. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam he said, أريت ليلة القدر ثم أيقظني بعض أهلي فنسيتها فالتمسوها في العشر الغوابر. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, I was shown, and this goes back to why we say that we don't know the exact day of it. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, I was shown Laylatul Qadr, then one of my family members woke me up from my sleep and I forgot it. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said he was shown it. This hadith is authentic. and this is the reason why we don't have an exact day for it. He said, I was shown Laylatul Qadr, and then one of my family members woke me up, and I forgot it. So I seek it out in the last 10 remaining nights. So the conclusion of the many ahadith in regards to Laylatul Qadr, as we've said before, is ambiguous. And the Prophet ﷺ forgot where it was. And this is from the hikmah of Allah to make the Prophet forget. Everything happens for a reason, and that is so we can exert ourselves in the last 10 nights. You know, I was speaking to someone today earlier on my way to the Masjid, and he's a close friend of mine, and he's also an imam. And he said, you know, Shaykh Ismail, I love Ramadan so much. I feel so good. I feel so good. He said, I don't want dunya. I don't want post-Ramadan. I want Ramadan. I feel so good. It's just Quran, Quran, Quran. Right? Salah, Quran. So that's all we do. Fajr. The Fajr is, you know, Fajr today was 2 lines. And for me, that was a weak Fajr. But during the normal time of year, 2 lines at Fajr is a big Fajr. But we got used to 4 lines in Fajr here because of Ramadan. And he's telling me, I don't want no Ramadan. I want Ramadan. I was like, wallahi, I was just thinking how much I agree with what he said. Ramadan is the best because Ramadan is Allah. Because Ramadan, you're living with God. If you're reading Quran, you're with Allah. And if you're in Salah, you're with Allah. And if you're fasting, you're with Allah. There's no time in Ramadan. There's no time in Ramadan where you're not with God. And it's the best feeling in the world. But if you're granted this perspective and this understanding, you're gifted. Look where true happiness is. We were created to worship Allah. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسُ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Allah said, I did not create humans or jinn just to worship, except for worship. So what you do, when you do what you are meant to do, you feel ease. Like when you do that, what you're meant to be doing, you're at ease. So the Prophet ﷺ, so this brother, he was telling me, and I told him, you know, wallahi, I agree with you completely. And I told him, I wish, and I always say this to you guys, I wish that every day was Ramadan, because if God forced me to do it, I would do it. But I'm a weak human, so outside of Ramadan, I don't do it, because I'm weak. But this is wisdom. The human, وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. The human is weak. And I was thinking, God is all wise. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if He did give us Ramadan, like if every day was Ramadan, then it wouldn't be Ramadan. Right? It would just be every day. Right? So if we had Ramadan every day of the year, and every day of the year was an obligatory fast and it was special, then it wouldn't be special. But what makes it special is that it's once a year. And we have to take advantage of it. So Laylatul Qadr is an important date. The reason why we give specific emphasis on the 27th night is because that was an opinion of many companions. But even then, the 27th night here in New Jersey is not the 27th night in Pakistan, because it's all based upon the sighting of the moon. The point is, Laylatul Qadr is ambiguous, but it's a very virtuous night. The virtue of Laylatul Qadr goes back to the gift of the Quran. إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. Allah, He says, we have sent it down. We have sent this book, the Quran, down. أنزلناه means in complete form. Anzala means completely, not munajjaman. Tanzeel is bit by bit. But the Quran was fully sent down from the Lawh al-Mahfuz, the pre-written tablet, to Bayt al-Izzah, which is the Kaaba in the first heavens, all in one go on Laylatul Qadr, which makes Laylatul Qadr virtuous. All of the virtues, I want to make this simple, all of the virtues that we have for Laylatul Qadr, such as forgiveness of sins, and it's Alfi Shahr, it's 1,000 months, it's like 88 years, all of these virtues that we have for this night go back to one thing. It's the night that God sent the Quran down in its complete form to. The Quran comes and it's like a sonic boom. The Quran comes down from the Lawh to Bayt al-Izzah, and it's like a sonic boom of mercy. Everything it touches is mercy and light. So we have sent it down in Laylatul Qadr. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. And what do you know? I love the Quran because it's very nice. It nudges you sometimes. The understander of Arabic, when he reads the Quran, Allah sometimes He nudges you. Because sometimes when you're reading, إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ, and then you could keep going and you won't really think deeply about what was said. Like you won't really ponder about what you just read. But what you just read was very deep. So Allah sometimes He nudges you. Like, yo, listen up to this. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. And what do you know about Laylatul Qadr? Do you know what, like Allah saying to us, do you know what I just mentioned, by the way? I mentioned a big deal. Laylatul Qadr, then He goes and tells you. Because if it was just إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ خَيْرٌ مِنْ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ, you wouldn't have really paid attention. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. What do you know about Laylatul Qadr? What is this night that I'm about to tell you about? Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr. Then Allah goes to describe this night of power, this night where He brought the Quran down in. He says, Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr. This night of power is greater than 1,000 months. 1,000 months is 80 something years, they say, 88 years, 83 years. So I I was on the internet today and I saw someone shared a picture. I liked it a lot. It was like 1 second, they wanted to give equivalence. 1 second in Laylatul Qadr, and the backdrop was a guy in sujood. 1 second in Laylatul Qadr equals this much time usually. And then, and then 10 seconds in Laylatul Qadr is this time usually. Or 1 minute in Laylatul Qadr is this time usually. And 1 hour in Laylatul Qadr is this time. Yani meaning that every single second is so much more magnified. So if you exert effort, yani. So Allah, He says, it's greater than 1,000 months. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. On that night, on Laylatul Qadr, something special happens every year. So maybe you hear from someone say, oh, I think it was Laylatul Qadr, I feel it. Someone tells you, I feel it. If he feels it, but he didn't pray Salah, we don't take what he said. He's saqat fil adala. But if someone says they feel it and they're pious and they come to the masjid, they were in the masjid, then I'll listen to what he says. Maybe he felt something good. But if someone from IHOP tells me he felt it, it doesn't mean nothing to me. You have to understand this. Not everyone, what they feel is always right. You have someone, they have a good job, and they quit their job. I go, why'd you quit your job? He goes, I felt it. Brother, what'd you feel, brother? Astaghfirullah min your feeling, bro. Oh, man. Some people say, no, I just felt it was the right thing to do. No, your feeling is not the one that counts. So, Allah, He says that the angels and the ruh descend in Laylatul Qadr, which brings us back to the person who we take his feeling, the person who did something good at night and he says, oh, I felt it. You feel it because of the presence of the angels. I want to make this point clear. This is a beautiful point. This is a beautiful point. Right now, we all feel good. We all feel good and tranquil, inshallah. We should be, because we're in the masjid and we're on wudu and we're dressed properly and we smell good, inshallah. Inshallah, we smell good, because we say this every day. Come to the masjid and put some perfume on. Not too much perfume, you make the brother, come to the masjid smelling good. We feel good in the masjid because it's the house of Allah, but there's another subtle reason. There's another subtle reason. That's because we are surrounded by angels. وَحَفَّتْهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَذَكَرَهُمُ اللَّهُ فِي مَنْ عِنْدَهُ. Allah, He describes the majlis, or the majalis of the masjid, or the majalis of Quran as أَنزَلَ عَلَيْهِمُ السَّكِينَةُ وَغَشْيَتْهُمُ الرَّحْمَةُ. He says that tranquility descends upon them, and rahmah envelops them and overtakes them. وَحَفَّتْهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ, and the angels surround them. وَذَكَرَهُمُ اللَّهُ فِي مَنْ عِنْدَهُ. And Allah mentions these people from their book, in His book. We feel good in the masjid because of one unseen thing. It's from the realm alim al-ghayb, from the world of the unseen, and that's that we are surrounded by angels, and angels make you feel good because they only listen to the command of God, and angels are all pious. We're going to end in 1 minute. So on Laylatul Qadr, they say that the most angels ever come down, and something else comes down, a specific angel, because Allah gives him istithna. He goes, تَنَزَّلِ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالْرُوحُ فِيهَا. The angels come down on that night. وَالْرُوحُ. Who is the ruh? نَزَلَ بِهِ الرُّوحُ الْأَمِينُ. نَزَلَ بِهِ الرُّوحُ الْأَمِينُ. Who is the ruh? Jibreel alayhi salam, known as the spirit. The ruh is Jibreel alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specifies Jibreel. Jibreel is the Malik al-Muwakkal bi-inzal al-Wahi. Jibreel is the specified angel. Jibreel alayhi salam is the specified angel for bringing down revelation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specifies him on Laylatul Qadr. He comes down as well. Jibreel alayhi salam, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was shown his true form 2 times. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw Jibreel's form 2 times, and he described him as having wings, each wingspan. You know, wingspan? Each wingspan is from the east to the west. He's as far as the eye could see, and he had 600 wings. Inshallah, we'll end with this. The last ayah is, Salamun hiya hatta matla' al-fajr. Salamun hiya. Allah Almighty gives salam to who? To the night of power, to Laylatul Qadr. He says, Salamun hiya. May peace be upon Laylatul Qadr. Salamun ala Ibrahim. Allah, He says, give peace to Ibrahim. Salamun hiya hatta matla' al-fajr. Peace be upon Laylatul Qadr hatta matla' al-fajr. Until the dawn breaks, until Fajr comes in. So you have an opportunity to go hard from Isha till Fajr. And it's not a long time anymore, because now summer times are coming up, and Fajr now is 5:30? Around 5:30 a.m. So inshallah, we said this in regards to the 27th night coming up, and for every night, the remaining of the days of Ramadan, it could very much be Laylatul Qadr. Even if it's just 1 second or 10 seconds or 1 minute, you should exert your effort to the maximum capacity in order to have an accepted Laylatul Qadr. Don't ruin your Laylatul Qadr by having animosity in your heart. And don't ruin your Laylatul Qadr by doing something that's that's haram at night, something that goes against the boundaries of Allah at night, something that's displeasing to Allah at night. Don't do something displeasing to Allah any night. Of course, Habibi, any night, of course. But specifically not these nights. We ask Allah to grant us acceptance. We ask Allah to grant us an accepted Laylatul Qadr and to remove all sorts of illnesses from our heart and to protect us from our own selves. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman kathira. Please stand for Salatul Isha.